A disturbing crime wave. Dozens of people have been shot in the last week. CBS News national correspondent Dean Reynolds reports.
Shooting violence has gotten so bad in Chicago that gunfights are breaking out now at existing crime scenes. Civilians were ducking for cover as this shootout occurred early Friday on the city's south side. It has shaken a community already shell-shocked by gang warfare. In the last week, at least 50 people were shot and 6 killed in Chicago. Dean Reynolds, CBS News, Chicago.
Definitely having guns in the community is tearing them apart.
They're designed to destroy. It's a machine that's designed to kill.
I do think it affects the community in a negative way.
The scariest thing is looking left to right and what you see. And what you see is a lot of negative images.
If we were able to confiscate unregistered firearms, sure, we would see a dramatic decrease in gun violence.
Definitely having guns in the community is tearing them apart. Because the only thing that you're going to use a gun for is to do some harm against somebody else. So I think that it is definitely tearing the community down.
I do think it affects the community in a negative way because, for one, kids today are getting involved in gang activities because of their influence around them in their community. And because of that, they get involved, and the violence continues on and never leaves. And people don't want to live over there anymore, and it destroys the whole environment, and it turns the positive community it was into something negative later.
Even in defending yourself, having a gun can lead still to the wrong thing. I have a cousin that's in the Army. He was never the type of kid that got into any fights. And he was messing around with a girl who had a crazy ex-boyfriend. And in defending himself, the guy lost his life. But he was defending himself. Even though he didn't go to jail, there were no charges were pressed against him, psychologically and emotionally, it still tore him down because he had to take somebody else's life just to defend himself.
A boy named Devin, who I used to live on my block with or whatever, he got shot last Saturday in the face at a party because of gang violence. Even though it wasn't intentional, he still got shot in the face for being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Regardless if he was there at the party anyway, there shouldn't have been guns, period. Because if there wasn't any guns or any type of gang activity, he would still be alive right now. He's only 18. There's no reason for him to be dead because of some accident.
One particular was a best friend of mine, grew up together. We came up with the same vision, same street mentality, and he ended up getting killed, shot in the head.
And my friend Gregory, he got killed last year in May due to gun violence. Him and his roommate got into an altercation and his roommate shot him. And he was like one of the people who was on the right path. He was like the only one out of all his friends who actually went to college, who wanted to give back to the community, and just got put in a bad situation and was shot and killed. And he was only 20. So I do think it's really bad. I don't think guns should be allowed to stupid people who are gonna do stupid things with them.
I think that our 50 aldermen have to work in collaboration with many other elected officials, many other appointed officials, like the Chicago Police Department head, congressmen, all of those different bodies and people who we put in government have to work together to limit this illegal activity that is contributing to the alarming, it's disgusting, you know, our rates of gun violence, death to gun violence in Chicago. I mean, we're known internationally for our death rates due to gun violence, particularly amongst young people.
It's killing our people daily, but that's one statistic that they don't promote enough as far as I'm concerned. The inability for our youth to have an alternative solution after school where they can go and take part in activities that they love to do, to keep them off the street corners and to keep them a little bit away from even being a target to be murdered on the street.
We need more of the community to stand up for their children. You know, we as a program can't do it alone. You know, we can only put in a small part. You know, it takes a village to raise a child.
Lock those up who are gangbanging or who usually participate in gang activities, and use the cameras that we have on the street for something, for a good purpose, instead of using it for parking tickets or whatever. They need to use those cameras to find crimes. It's obviously, there's a lot of people out there who, when the top level goes to jail, the level below them happens to take their place, so they end up becoming the top level. So I think if they're going to get involved, we need to take all of them and keep them under close watch before they commit any crimes and take away whatever they have.
Our organization basically patrolled our streets. We policed our streets. We were trying to take back control of the streets. So it's been many times if we heard that there was someone out with a gun or any type of something that's harmful, we would definitely interfere.
I do believe very firmly, as a resident of a community that experiences a lot of death due to gun violence, is that we need to monitor who was purchasing guns, monitor the illegal activity around guns. You know, when we have purchases being made by one individual, 20, 40, 60 guns, we know that there's probably some illegal activity behind that. And I think that as the city of Chicago, the mayor, council, and all other elected officials that have some type of influence about or within that sphere need to look more at how gun purchasing is being monitored.
And why do we have manufacturing facilities that's still manufacturing this very instrument that's killing people day by day? Guns were supposed to be used in wars. Now we have a war on our streets because of it. So if the government was really, really interested in stopping the violence in our community, stop the manufacturing of guns. And not only that, our government has a key influence on how those guns get navigated to our community. Just like they started it, they can stop it. So absolutely, guns is the key to why we're sitting here in the 24th Ward and having to have memorials up and down 16th Street, Pulaski, Roosevelt Road. It saddens my heart to see that there's another young black life that was just frivolously taken from a machine that needs to be stopped at the manufacturing level.